Sneaky Nation, in this episode of Warframe, we have a very exciting new Warframe intro. So Update 18 has actually been hyped for a while. It's added all kinds of crazy new features that have made the game better, and some that have been sorely needed for a long time, especially the endgame content that they just recently added. But one of the coolest aspects of the new update is the new Ivara Warframe. In this episode, we're going to be going over all her stats and all of her abilities as always. So I do hope you enjoy. Please click like and favorite if you do. And if you happen to be new around here, join the rest of us in Sneaky Nation by clicking subscribe. And let's do this! And here she is, everybody. This is Ivara. With her quiver of tactical arrows, this huntress prowls unseen and strikes without warning. Now, it's not very often that a new Warframe comes in the game and actually gets me pretty excited about it again, and this is one of those rare times. She's kind of like a stealth Warframe, although she has a lot of offensive abilities. Some are actually very unique and quite different from other frames, and her first ability alone actually has 4 different ones within it, so it's kind of like an Equinox type of hybrid deal there too, in a sense. But anyways, let's take a quick look at her abilities one by one. Her first ability is Quiver. Cycle through and shoot one of 4 tactical arrows: Cloak, Dashwire, Noise, and Sleep. In the Conclave, use the Null Shield and Slow arrows. Now, the first arrow, Cloak, is actually great. If you shoot it on the ground, it creates an area. If you get inside the circle, you actually become invisible. And it's actually great too because your teammates can get inside of it, so all of you can take full advantage. You can kill enemies while inside of it, you can shoot outside of it. There are no real downfalls to it. The only real downfall is actually it's going to disappear eventually. That's it. That's about it. And you can run around the map, you can go spinning all over the place, you can shoot it on the ground and land inside of it. Let's try that right here. See if we can pull it off. Oh yeah, there we go. Dashwire is actually really cool too. It's basically you shoot out a zip line, then you can use it to get out of sticky situations, ride it on up, use it for all your tactical needs really. Parkour 2.0 solved a lot of problems for most Warframes not being able to access certain areas. Like prior to that update, Excalibur could use his super jump, Zephyr could use her ability to get up to places, even Valkyrie could use Ripline to get up to inaccessible areas for most frames. But then Parkour 2.0 came out and solved a lot of those problems. Now, basically any Warframe can access most areas. However, Dashwire can help you access other areas too that you couldn't necessarily get over to. And even this, you can use it for getting across the map. It makes you a little bit less of a target, I guess, because you're further up. But like this, you couldn't get up here with Parkour 2.0, and you can snipe down on enemies from up in the sky. It's just really cool, but I think this is probably going to be one of the least used arrows, actually. Next up, we have the Noise arrow, and the basic premise is, of course, it creates a noise in the environment. The enemies hear something, but they don't know what it is, so they have to go investigate. And you can keep firing it further and further away. They go further and further away, and this allows you to sneak past them in a stealth-like fashion. It's important to note that the enemies cannot be aware of your presence, or this will not work at all, at least not as of the current update. I'm sure that's the way it's actually intended to work. But interestingly enough, I couldn't get this to work on the Europa tile set for some reason. I tried in the Void too, and it wouldn't work there either. I don't know if the enemies automatically knew where I was, necessarily, but it didn't seem like it, but I couldn't get it to work. But I got it to work perfectly here on Earth. This is the way it's actually supposed to function. And this is a pretty standard feature in any stealth-based game. Like, in a lot of games you'll have empty magazines from your gun clips. You can throw those to attract the enemies to it, like in Metal Gear Solid, for example. And the enemies will all bunch up here. Look how easy they are for the picking now. I could snipe them very easily. Those enemies down there are all confused, and apparently they're dancing or tweaking against the wall or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't like to judge personally, but feel free if you like to. And her final arrow type is called Sleep. And guess what it does? It makes them all go to sleep. So because they're all bunched up in a small area there, we can actually put all 4 of them to sleep like so. You'll know that they are asleep because you'll see them glowing with the red there. And we can also put them to sleep too. It doesn't last too long though, as you can see. So maybe slip past them really quick. Gives you just a little bit of time. Maybe you can go up there and melee all of them at once. Take them all down really quick. Oh look, these 2 aren't tweaking out anymore. They decided to go sober. I'm proud of them. Good job, guys. Okay, so let's put these guys to sleep up here and then let's just snipe them all. We're going to let everybody know where we are, and then we're going to go around and put them to sleep one by one. You don't have to use it in a stealth fashion if you don't want to. But you can perform stealth kills in a very similar fashion how you can put enemies into a blind from Radial Blind via Excalibur. And it makes it very easy. You won't necessarily always have to perform a stealth kill. You get a stealth kill on them though. Just a nice little bonus really. Good night, sir. Next up is Navigator. Assume control of a projectile and guide it to the target. Now with this ability you want to use it in combination with her first ability to shoot different arrow types. In this case I'm going to use Sleep for the demonstration purposes. I just shot that around the corner, I guided it right over to these enemies, I put them both to sleep, and now they're mine for the taking. As simple as that. Right here I have a guy on a turret who's really annoying, so I'm just going to fire this arrow around the corner, put him to sleep, and guess what, I'm going to go give him a nice stealth kill in the back for doing such a good job. Haha. And we have a huge group of enemies around this corner, so let's see if we can put a bunch of them to sleep. Got him at least. Oh yeah, we got all of them up there. Take them all down at once. Yeah. And that's how you do it, Sneaky Nation. That is how you do it. Her next ability is Prowl. Become invisible and steal loot from unsuspecting enemies or take out prey with deadly headshots. Now this is technically her second way to make herself invisible, the first of course being the cloak arrow, but this is actually better because as you can see it does drain energy over time, so you can keep it going for a longer period of time, especially if you're picking up the energy orbs, if you have a Trinity with you, casting your ultimate ability, healing it for you. But I'm sure she can even last as long as like Loki can with his invisibility or Ash can with his smokescreen. It certainly seems like it. The only downfall is that you cannot run or else it'll disappear like so. However, you can keep casting wherever you need to. You can use it to go revive teammates if they're down. As long as you're walking, it will stay active. But the best part of all, you may have noticed this orange glow, this orange field, orange beam coming out of enemies. I'm stealing items from enemies as long as I stand still and just let it do its magic for me. So I'm essentially able to loot enemies twice. If I take an item from them like that, and then I kill them afterwards, they drop items twice. So this is a really great ability. How can you not like this? And finally, her ultimate ability, Artemis Bow. Summon a mighty bow and unleash a volley of devastating arrows. Okay, so ultimate ability, it's pretty natural to expect it to be pretty good, right? You better believe it is. She busts out her own bow. That's right, she doesn't even need one equipped. She has her own, and not only that, it fires not just one arrow, but seven side by side, so you can take down multiple enemies at once. You could even probably get all 7 of them into one enemy if you get close enough to them. And it does a lot of damage. Most of the time it takes down enemies with one hit. Unless you get up to like a heavy gun or a bombard. I haven't really tried getting really close. I bet it probably could even take them down in one shot too. From a distance, naturally it's only gonna do a little bit on them because it's not getting all arrows in there at once. But I'd be pretty interested in see how it compares like the Paris Prime and the Dread and whatnot. Not that other one that begins with the D. I don't even know what it's called offhand. I just hate that bow so much. I don't even think it's been in the series yet. But anyways, that's beside the point. So this drains energy over time. Just kidding. It does not drain energy over time. You can actually have it equipped. It won't drain any energy at all. However, every time you fire an arrow, or 7 at once, because it kind of does that, you lose 10 energy at a time. So you need to be picking up energy orbs or having Trinity there healing it for you with their ultimate ability. And you can take down so many enemies with this. It's so awesome. It's a lot of fun. But it feels like a typical bow. Okay everyone, so I got her up to rank 30, the max rank, so you can see exactly what her base stats will be at that time. Sprint speed is 1.15, shield is 300, power is 263, health is 225, and armor is 65. So naturally what that tells me is she's not going to be a melee frame, not that she even seems like one in the slightest. She's meant to be more of a supporter frame. She'd be someone in the shadows providing like backup sniper support. That's what she's actually meant to be. And that obviously means no steel fiber is going to go on there. You could definitely work with redirection and vitality though, or maybe even vigor. Those would work nicely. Let's take a look at what polarity slot she has. So in the aura mod slot, she has the one that matches up perfectly with the energy siphon, so that's what I actually put there personally. That'll help her cast her abilities more often over the course of the mission. And then she also has a spot that'll fit nicely with either redirection or vitality. And then over here you can put a streamline. And then, of course, once you get up to rank 30, you can start to use formas and whatnot to further improve her. and I look forward to seeing exactly what I can make of her. Now before we get going, I just want to show you a few extra clips. So when you die now, you actually have 4 revives every mission, so when you go back to your ship you regain them. However, if you revive during the mission, you have to give up 10% of the affinity you earned during it, so keep that in mind. And the chances of encountering the Stalker have increased greatly with this update because he drops parts to the war weapon. And if you're wondering how that encounter went, don't worry, let's just say I showed him a thing or two. Good thing I remember to cut this out of the video. Anyway, Sneaky Nation, in case you missed the other video right before this one, the ship is now huge. They added a whole new level down here. There are 3 new doors. This one is the most enticing because it keeps having a symbol pop up and it's all lit up. Really curious what they're going to do with it in the future. Pretty excited. They're also probably going to do something with this too. This looks like another console, kind of like the navigation menu up there. Anyways, Sneaky Nation, thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed. Please click like and favorite if you did. If you happen to be new around here, join us in Sneaky Nation by clicking subscribe. And I will see you next time.